And also make sure that you are keeping your your mic silent so that any additional noise should not come through. I'm not sure somebody is turned on his mic.
যারা প্লিজ আপনাদের হচ্ছে মাইকটা অফ রাখেন, যারা হচ্ছে অডিওটা অফ রাখেন, যারা হচ্ছে এখানে জয়েন করতেছেন। অটোমেটিক্যালি ভাই আপনার অফ করা যায় না?
I have to look over.
মিউট অফে ক্লিক করে দেন, মিউট অল।
Yeah, I think I have to.
এটা নেটওয়ার্কের সমস্যা আমার। ইউএসএ কানাডা
somehow this is so embarrassing. I'm trying to figure it out how to mute. Pritam Shah, can you please mute yourself? I'm sorry, I'm trying, but I couldn't able to mute you. So okay, is it recording? Okay, it's recorded. Okay, so can you see my screen, something like that?
Yeah, we can see
it's the slide is visible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am MD Manjul Hassan. Currently I'm a PhD candidate and I'm expecting to graduate maybe within a year. So today we are here to talk about how we can collaborate together, and also looking for some people who has the potentiality to work with us. So what's our agenda is today? Our main purpose is to in general publish paper in high quality journal. Throughout this process we want to find out some potential candidate who is qualified for MS, PhD or postdoctoral position, and also who can collaborate with us and with the professor, and you can learn through the tricks and tips how to develop your portfolio, and also identify your research area, and toward the ends we want to develop a multidisciplinary team which can work for a longer run. And also it's necessary to find out the current research topic, and then the plan of action and some of the tasks for you guys. So when I'm talking about that high quality journal, that means I specifically meaning that the Nature, Science, Elsevier, IEEE Transaction, Springer, and it's really hard to crack down to publish in Nature and Science related journals because they publish very high quality papers, and even the professor of Harvard or MIT, many of them don't even have the paper in Nature and Science. So if anyone who has a published paper in Nature or Science journal, he definitely demonstrate a huge potentiality. So when you send your resume or CV to any professor, or when you're trying to email to anybody, and it shows that you have the published paper and you have the experience of working on a very good journal, that actually make you one of the strong potential candidate for any position you want to achieve, either for higher degree or academic profession or anywhere. So there is so many journals, but those are the some of the publication company who publish a very good quality journal, and that should be our target, at least from now on. So find some potential MS, PhD and postdoc candidate. So the thing is, when we give the post about this research collaboration. We were talking about different domain, but you have to understand that there is definitely some limitations. Like I am from one background, so I can only handle on that particular background, but there's the many other but everybody is welcome apart from the engineering background or from the uh, pure uh, uh, science background. Even if you're from the medical domain, you're from uh, any other domain, you're more than welcome to communicate with us. We'll try to find out how we can help you or how we can collaborate a team. At the end of the day, it's actually our goal to see that if we can create a platform where the people have the common interest. And so those are the university you can see where we can personally recommend. We have the collaboration, we have the people, uh, like if I talk about like University of Oklahoma, sorry, uh, uh, if I talk about the University of Oklahoma, so here I am working here, so I can easily in computer science, electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, and I'm the student of industrial and system engineering. So my friend, he's from chemistry. So since we work here, we know that when you send your CV to someone, to professor, he received like 100, even 1,000 of CV, and so he'll not look into your CV. But when you are recommending that, hey, look into this person or something, then uh, it's get more easier. The professor will look into that CV and then he may contact you, and that will also increase your chance of getting the admission and funding in MS PhD. But it always depends on the professor and his fund and his project and what he's looking for. So those are the stuff you have to remember. And but we are from Bangladesh, and you already know that recommendation is very important. So when you send a recommendation letter to any school, when you apply for any school, you need a CV, you need statement of purpose, you need some recommendation letter. So your recommendation letter from someone from Bangladesh uh, will not put that much weight in your academic profile, the way it will put much weight when you get the recommendation letter from an US professor. So if you have the potentiality, if you are a hardworking person, and if you can work with us, and then definitely you can create a very dynamic CV where you'll have the published paper with us and with the US professor, and the professor will also give you the recommendation letter when you're applying for any other places. And if you are a very good candidate, and definitely maybe that same professor can hire you in his own lab, because at the end of the day, everybody wants someone who is who can bring some benefit in a research group. So those are the university. So once I shared the that slide, you'll have this university information. So and I also mentioned the department where actually we can potentially help. Those are the department where actually mostly from computer science and electrical engineering and industrial and system engineering. But this is not about only the department. Like I am from industrial and system engineering, but I am working on machine learning, disease diagnosis, and epidemiology. So when you have the research interest, it doesn't matter what is the department. If you have some research background and that research align with any department, then you can get funded even when you are actually studying your own major. Like right now, my funding is coming from Department of Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering, but I'm a student of Industrial and System Engineering. I know some of the students who are actually from a civil and environmental engineering, but he is getting funding from industrial engineering. So this is how those things work. I used to know one person who was actually from journalism, and he actually used to get funding from data science department. So I specifically mentioned this department because we have these people here, like our colleague. Some of them are already become a faculty member, so we can reach them in person, we can recommend them, and then it will create you more credentiality to go through these processes. So those are the university. Even one university from Deakin University from Australia, here is also, we have the good credential. So if you have the potential and we feel like that you are a right candidate, then definitely we will recommend you. So as I said earlier, that the collaboration, so our collaboration will be like USA based. The professor from Australia, India, Malaysia, and also Iran. Those are just few of the country I mentioned. And identify the potential research area. So basically, nobody is going to give you the answer that what is your research area or what you should do. You have to find your own research area. This is not something that somebody will help you with this. For example, if you are in a biomedical field, if you are like, okay, I'm a student of biology, and when you're studying your subject, it's really important that you look into that subject, because when you're learning that basic, that will give you your intuition, and your research area started from your interest. In biology, or maybe in chemistry, in physics, you're learning a lot of subject, but maybe any specific topic, when any specific subject, any specific area specifically make you interest to work on that. So you have to think about that. You have to find that what you like. And it's not about your preference, like, okay, I love this, I want to do this. No, this is not how the research will work. You have to align different stuff. At first, you have to find out that what you like. So you have to find out that what you like. Then you have to find out that, can you do it? Do you have enough knowledge? Are you interested to gain this knowledge? If you don't have this knowledge, that's fine. You can still try to learn that knowledge, and you can go through this. So that's the way you can create you can narrow down your research domain. Other way, it will be always like, oh, I am interested about machine learning, I'm interested about deep learning, I'm interested about bioinformatics. So many of you, when send you your interest in through the email, almost everybody was talking about it in general terms, like, okay, I'm interested about machine learning, I'm interested about deep learning, I'm interested about uh, when we posted that that post in Facebook group, we used as a broad term that, okay, this is something we wanted to work on. But very few have demonstrated that, okay, they have something in their mind, or they're actually working on something. So the research area is very important, that which you need to figure out. And okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there will be multidisciplinary team. So there will be 3 type of team. So among them, team 1, those will be collaborate with us directly. What does that mean directly? It means that these people have the same research interest, or it's aligned with our research experience, and it's also similar the way we are working, almost close to with us. And they have at least published, I'm not sure that whether this is the right term to put here, but still I am hoping that somebody published some paper in Nature, Elsevier, or IEEE Transaction. Those are very hard of the journal. But if somebody has this criteria, then he is more than welcome, and he has a very high credential to work with us as a team 1, where actually we'll work directly together. And here I'm mentioning not any journal, like, okay, I published in IEEE in Bangladesh, conference in Rajshahi. No, those, I'm not talking about this kind of journal. I'm talking about Elsevier, Nature, IEEE Transaction, which are very reputed and global journal. Good writing skill, this is very important. So I'm guessing that the people who are actually attending this event, they are not good in writing skill, but the only way you can improve your writing skill is like keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. That's the only way you can write it down, improve your skill actually. So, but still it will be a bonus point. But the main point is that that point is very important. If the research is aligned with us, then it will be actually great for us. So the team 2, it will be like it will collaborate with a designated group, like somebody who works with someone who actually distracting me. I'm feeling so stupid because I told many of you to silence your mic when actually I'm giving the presentation, because I'm losing the focus, and this is literally waste of my time and everyone's time. So I'm doing it for everyone's, but if someone distracting me, it's hard for me that what I want to say or I don't want to say. So see, this is also one of the things you have to understand, that if you're not serious, then we can go further, because I'm not getting any money for doing this kind of service and we want to help you. But if you are not serious about your work, then we don't need you. This is the truth, because we are already working in here and we have so many collaborations. But if you're not sincere about sending a good way to write an email, if you're not sincere when you are actually attending a Zoom invitations, and you just open and you are like, so it shows that you are disrespecting the people who are actually presenting the presentations. So please be respectful, so that everybody will get helpful, because you will be someone who wants to pursue higher study in the one of the top leading country like USA, Canada. So try to nurture your attitude that way, so that it's not offensive. Okay, thank you. So, but I'm going back to the slide. So again, the team 2 who, but they don't have the publication, but they want to publish paper. Those are the people, they're very interested. Okay, I don't have the published paper, but I'm really interested, I want to work hard and I want to do that. That's one thing. So on that particular place, we want to work together and and we'll provide the support. That okay, somebody okay, like among 130 people, 7 of them have the similar interest. So we create a team and tell them, hey, this is the project and you can work together, and if you think you can work together, and together when you have completed your work, you can give it to us, then we can look over and we can see that what is missing and how you can improve it further. And once it is in the up to the mark in like Elsevier or Nature or IEEE journal, then we can all together go ahead. And also they're ambitious and hardworking person, because this is very important. Look, the most important part is you are not favoring anyone, you are favoring yourself when you're actually working hard. So you are actually creating your career. So the more energy and effort you will put yourself, it's actually help you in a longer run. So you have to keep this in mind. So the third team, it's like unfortunately some of them who will be maybe they don't have any experience, they are like careless people, but still they want to get something from this process throughout the whole process that we have started. So we don't want to go anyone without anyone go with an empty hand. At least he has something, so that he learns something, he can use it for he or she can use it for further his long-term endeavor or any other perspective. So those are the people, they're lazy but still want to publish. Why I say lazy? Because so many people, oh, I want to work with you, but the action speaks louder than word. But they're not willing. I mean they're not that much of serious. So they send the message in a way that they're very serious, but their action don't speak that way. So those are the people, because it's our time, it's everyone's time, and time is very limited, and we have to publish good papers. So we cannot take everyone in one team. So that's the team. So they'll not be the part of team 1 or team 2. But if they can, they have the option, the potentiality, and work independently. Even they are welcome to create a group independently. For example, okay, I'm studying in X university, and I am from in C department, and I have 4 friends. So we work together, we write down a paper. So this is the manuscript. Just send it to us, and we'll look over, and if it's good, and definitely we'll try to help you, and then it will we'll try to publish with you. So like it's okay if you have no idea, and very new in research domain. And this is the most likely the case, people who are in student of the first year, second year, or hardly third year in my country, in Bangladesh. So I will tell them that, I want to tell them that don't worry about that. You have to remember that if you are a first year student and second year students or third year students, it's very important, instead of getting a research paper, that you should hardly focus on your coursework, your research interest, so that you can uh, like one of the person who is actually ahead of the time. If you're a first year student and you're very ambitious about your paper, but you are not learning the basic thing, and you fail to perform well in your academic field, then it will be a disaster for you. So I'm talking about those people as a team 3, that I'm expecting that people who are first year, second year, maybe they are in the team, will be the team number 3. But still, if you believe that no, I think that my academic profile will be okay, I can continue my class. Apart from the class, I still want to work on the research group, and I have interest, then as I say earlier, then find out the research area and work on that and send it to us, and then we'll help you how to improve that further. And also, those are the people who don't have the rush. For team 1 and team 2, we are actually trying to figure out that the people who are want to publish within a year, or who has something in his hand, that who wants to publish, or who don't know how to proceed further, or who has some knowledge and expertise on the particular domain. So the current research topic, it could be goes beyond in any direction, and if it's not, those are the topic I'm putting here, because if it's aligned with any of you people, then you are more than welcome to direct send me the email or the message that, hey, those are the topic that it related to me. Then we can directly put you in a team 1, and we can figure it out that how we can work on that. Or like someone who's working on machine learning based disease diagnosis, you're more than welcome. Federated learning, this is one of the most promising topic, and if someone has federated learning with image processing, that they are interested in working on that, please communicate with me. It will be a great help, and we are desperately waiting want to publish in this 3 particular field in nature and science specifically. Apart from this, if you are working on industry 4.0, it's actually now becoming 6 and 5, so you can look over that part too. AI and cybersecurity, power system, generative adversarial network, this is called GAN. So from this particular period, if someone working on disease diagnosis, still it's fine, what we call epidemiology. Some of the stuff we also, again, the current topic, like real-time fault detection using the video, autoencoder, zero-shot learning, few-shot learning, DNA RNA sequencing. If somebody has this part of research experience, you're more than welcome. You don't need to know this part, but if you have this knowledge, you can write the literature review on this part, this part, then maybe we can collaborate with machine learning part, then we can published paper in this domain also. 3D and 2D image analysis using machine learning. This is also another part. And in medical domain, people who are not familiar, try to search in Google what is cohort study, and maybe I'll tell later. And also meta-analysis. This is also in medical domain. They've started to working on. So later, when I'll show you, I mean, maybe not today, at some point, I'll show you that what kind of research and how those things actually work. Then you will identify that actually how many, what kind of research can be done. But this is, as I mentioned earlier, this is not limited to, but those are the topic that current research topic, what I'm mentioning this, that if somebody is working on that we can speed up and we can start working as soon as possible, and we can target some journal and we can publish there and we can work on that. So those are the circle. But apart from this domain, if somebody has any manuscript from his particular domain, like he's from chemistry, he's from doctor field, he's from physics, he's from bioinformatics, in any field, if you have anything, you're more than welcome to share and we'll work on that. But those are the very ongoing topic that we personally as a team working collaboratively. So now your task. So what will be your task? So basically we will show you how to do those kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, it will be you who is going to do your job by yourself. Then you will send us the draft to look over. Once we give you the comments, you will improve the draft. And this is not mandatory, because based on your journal quality, you will find the journal where to submit, find a good journal. But this is a good practice, how to find a good journal. And then it will also actually, as an independent worker, it will help you in longer run. So what is our task? Help to improve your research manuscript. When you are doing undergrad, there may be a 2 to 4 credit coursework where you have the chance to work in a research, but you know very well that what is the research condition in my country, in Bangladesh, and how those things work. So 99.99% people are hardly familiar with what is research and how it works, because when we are doing research in the United States, we are getting funded per month around $1,800 to $2,000, and they are paying or $3,000. They are paying all our tuition fees. So you have to understand that for doing the research, we are getting paid monthly, and the university is paying around $20,000 to $30,000 our tuition fees also. So why they want to invest so much money to someone like me? So this is one part of research. And when you are doing the research in Bangladesh, you are getting not a single money. You are getting very hard to find out that where to publish, and you can hardly publish some of the journals. I mean, not all of them, most of them, that regional conference of IEEE or regional conference in domestic conference, which is actually not exposed, or which is not actually put too much impact. Because at the end of the day, you are actually going to, your candidate will not be only a Bangladeshi people. Your candidate for any school will be Chinese, will be Indian, will be American, will be Irani people. So the people who apply from IIT from India, they already have a paper in Elsevier, and you have nothing. So when they try to weight, you are actually will be less weighted because of your manuscript, because of your quality. And now one more thing, why I'm talking too much about research paper, because recently it has been speculating that maybe, and even some of the university already taking GRE as a supplementary. So just think about that. If you don't have a good quality, you don't. So in the future, they will count you if you have a high quality research paper and if you have a good standing academic profile. Because that previously it was like, okay, you don't have a good score, you don't have a good CGPA, but you get a high GRE and you just get the admission. But if they make it like a GRE as a supplementary, then it will be much harder for Bangladeshi students to get admission and full funded in a very good school. And also why it's very important, your research paper. If you have a paper in nature, in science, then you can even apply for MIT, Harvard, in any school, and you will definitely will get admission. Funding is the later part, but admission will, it will make you very strong positions, because the very top people who get the Nobel Prize, they published like in Nature, Science, or Physical Review, those kind of papers, and you crack down this part. That means you are a very exceptional. So this is a highly opportunity, a very great opportunity where you can demonstrate that, okay, what you can do. This is something you need to know. Pay for the journal fees. We always prefer the open access journal, because suppose you work on, I'll show you later why open access is very important, but just keep in mind that when you want to publish in open access journal, it costs some amount of money. I'm talking about Nature. In some Nature, they charge around 5,000 and 8,000. So it's very hard for Bangladeshi students who want to publish a open access paper in Nature or any other paper journals, and he wants to pay this money. So we will take care of this part. So you will be absolutely fine about this portion. And then tips and tricks to suggestion to get admission and funding in the USA. Definitely, if you have paper with me, if you have paper with my colleague, then you have the direct communication with me. Okay, so then definitely I'm going to help you, right? That's how it works. Provide recommendation letter. I remember when I apply for my master's in USA, I'm from Sharjah University. I had to spend a month to get one recommendation letter from my university. And he's not too much important person in USA, the person who gave me the recommendation letter. But I think maybe the scenario is now changed. People are now more welcomed through their professor, or maybe the university system has changed. But that was my experience, which is, I think, a very rare example. So our attitude to getting the recommendation letter, like, sir, please give me, sir, please give me, you don't have to do that. When you are in this position, you have the manuscript, we have the publications, we'll write the recommendation letter by ourselves. All you need to do is just let us know, hey, I'm applying for this school and this is what we need. So just think that when you submit your application, you have a very good CV, you have a papers, and then your recommendation letter is written that, okay, the professor of University of Colorado University, University of Oklahoma, University of Mississippi, and another candidate from Bangladesh, he sent the resume and the application, and that is written like, okay, professor from X University, Z University. So definitely they will give you more attention to your profile. They will think your profile is more credential, because your recommendation is directly came from the professor who actually work in the USA. And also the advantage is most of you get the recommendation letter from your supervisor, which you don't even have a paper with them. But when you will work with us, then you will have a paper with us, and you'll also have a recommendation letter. So they will say, okay, he has already created some credentiality by publishing papers with USA professor already. So this is the guy, this is the lady I want in my lab. So even though if you're not interested, some of the university I have mentioned in my slide, still you are in a very good shape for a longer run for any school and any places where you want to pursue your academic career. So your benefit, learn to how publish paper, get the chance to publish with US universities collaboration, like your paper, like it look, it's not like that you cannot publish yourself. Definitely you can publish yourself, but when you write something, you send it to the journal and they're looking for it first goes through the editor. So editor is the one who initially decide that is this the paper I will send to the reviewer. So most of the paper, at least in Elsevier, 30 to 40% paper get rejected in the front desk reject. What does that mean, the front desk reject? The editor believed this research has no contribution and it's the waste of time if I send it to the reviewer. Why he is thinking that? That's the, in many cases, you know, our human mind is very different, and it's always not unbiased. There must be some biased decision, because the person individually make the decision that which paper is good, which paper is not good. I have seen many crappy paper published in Nature, and I have seen a very good paper not even been accepted or get rejected in some good journals. So since it's the human, so it could be biased, but there is a many factor that you can put in your manuscript so that you can overcome this biasness. This is one of the part. US university collaboration. So when you send this paper, the editor look, okay, his name is Sharmin Akhtar. Who is the other author? Okay, Professor Jahid Siddiqui, University of Oklahoma. Professor Kishore Datta, Clark University, USA. So those are the tag, those are the brand. So then the editor will get some vibe. Okay, since those are the professor, those are the collaborator name are added in this manuscript, that means this work has some credentials. So when some undergraduate students, when some Bangladeshi students sending something, apart from this, when something coming with a collaboration with the professor, it stands more way. That doesn't mean that our professor not working well and they're not getting accepted. Definitely they're getting accepted. I'm just talking about some updated benefit. Why I'm talking about the credentiality, because I'm also reviewer. When I look back the manuscript as a blinded review, what I do, I read hardly the abstract part. And if I found out that, okay, this is the interesting, it can go further, then I actually look over the conclusion part. And if I think, okay, this is a well-written paper, let's dig further. Then I just screen through, okay, is the result appropriately presented? Is it can stand as a scientific paper alone in scientific world? Then I say, okay, this paper could be recommended. Or if the writing is not too good, then I'll say, okay, need some further update. Or if it's not appropriate, I kept some comments. It depends. So why I'm telling this, you will write 13 to 14 page paper or 16, 70 page paper, and nobody has time to read each single by single line. You will telling that, okay, I get 90% accuracy. My system can 100% accurately identify the cancer. So just think, how should I know that this is true? Because you are giving me a table, you are giving me a graph, you are giving me a figure, and after that I will tell you, oh, okay, this is fine. And after that, this will go to a scientific journal. The whole world will know, okay, Manjul Hassan published a paper and he said that his method is 100% accurate. So many of them will use that as a reference and say, oh, he said this is working fine. So it's like speculating all over the world. So it's also a challenging. So I have no way to know that whether your work is true or false. So we need some validity, the credentiality, that, okay, before even you submit it to the journal, the editor need to understand that he can rely on this manuscript. So when he saw the collaboration, okay, this research is funded by National Science Foundation of USA, this research is collaborated with Deakin Lab, Process and Engineering Lab of Aerospace Engineering. So those are the credentiality, give the editor the positive vibe, okay, I can go further. I'm talking about very high quality journal. I'm not talking about just normal journal where you can just publish. So this is the process. Anyway, then your paper will be published in open access. Oh, I told you that why it is important, open access. I will show you later why it is important. And also, if you have a very good, you will develop a long-term relationship with people research in academia. Like it's not necessary that everybody will go for academic position. People, you will go through the industry. Even if you go to industry right now, they even want to publish papers, because it will help you if you, for a longer run, when you don't want to stay in Bangladesh, you want to work in the USA or any other places, then you research also help you to organize yourself. Because when you want to, just remember, when you publish a research paper, it needs so many content. You need to be expert in a PowerPoint, you need to be expert in Excel, you need to be expert in writing, you need to be expert in editing, you need to be expert in a Word. So you are actually going through so many sectors. So when you're actually writing a paper, you are a much more smart people who can represent yourself in any organization as a presenter. So publishing research paper helps you for a long run. And also when you're working with us, and if you have built a relationship, it will help you in a much more direction, much more way. What's our benefit? Find some potential researcher who can help us to improve our research and be an aspiring colleague in the future. Why I'm mentioning this? I'm not telling it for everyone. There are so many people who are ambitious. Okay, I want to go to USA, I want to complete my master's, I want to complete my PhD, and someday I want to be a faculty, an assistant professor in US university. So we want someone that who actually, but it's not like that. Okay, we want everyone. We want someone that, okay, not everybody wanted to be like that one. So we're looking for that particular people also. So what's the benefit? My roommate, my ex-roommate now as an assistant professor at some university. So he's my colleague. So when he asked me that, do you know someone who is working on that particular field? So that I should not wait. I say, oh yes, I have somebody. So okay, let's collaborate together and do this, just get it done, this work. So we are looking for that. And why you're looking for some potential researcher? Look, it will help you for a longer run. I mentioned earlier why this is. When I was hired to my professor, I don't know what to do, how to start, and how should I go through. It takes me around 2 years to figure it out, that actually what I want to do, how I want to do. So basically my professor took 2 years to teach me, and it takes me 2 years to learn it. But in 2 years, I realized that this process could be more speedier. So in this process, when you go through, you already know how to publish, you're already a researcher. So you will not be admitted in any US school as a student, you will be admitted as a researcher. So what will happen when anyone hired you, you will be much more advanced position to anyone. You don't have to waste your time to find the direction, where should go, what next. It will save you time. It will reduce your stress. You're already experienced to publishing papers, so you know how to handle this. You know how to publish this. You don't have to gone crazy. You don't have to be depressed. So you don't have to. So all the students, when spending 2 or 3 years to find out what they want to do, how to do, what to do, you're already in these places. So if you go through this, if you collaborate with us, then you will get these tips, tricks, and this kind of opportunity, and it will make you a much smarter and much stronger academic endeavor for the future. Publish a good quality paper. This is something I want to mention, that why I'm several times I'm saying the manuscript to research paper. This research paper is not only bring you a job, not only make you an academic position, not only bring you your career success, it will also bring you professional success. Even in the United States, it's called National Interest Waiver. This is not a topic. I just put this word, NIW. Just if you have a good amount of research paper, you can apply for a green card directly using NIW. So this is not our goal. So I don't want to go through this, but I just give you this term. Using this process, it takes only 2 years to become a permanent resident in the United States. And even you don't even need to study in the United States. All you need to show the USA that you are one of the potential researcher, where people need to come to the USA, completing the degree and doing so many things. Just you have a good paper in nature, science, you demonstrate a very good academic standing from Bangladesh, you can apply for a green card and you can be a US permanent resident. So this is out of the context, but I'm just giving you the sample that how research is very, very important. And that definitely, at the end of the day, it will be develop our research community, because we want to extend our research community. This is unfortunate for Bangladeshi people that we don't have proper community that whom we can work together. But when I came to the USA, I saw that Indian people, Chinese people, and also the Irani people, Turkish people, they have a huge collaboration. Like, we people have so many problems. Like, when I started working with Bangladeshi people, they are very concerned. Okay, how many author? 2, 3? No, we cannot allow 4. What do you mean by 2, 3, 4? But if you look over in Irani journals, they have like 15 author in one paper. It doesn't matter how many author in your paper. It's important that where you are publishing. If you are, it's a collaboration. It's not like, okay, I will be the only one who just want to achieve everything. You cannot achieve everything by yourself. You cannot, because 15 Iranian people working together to publish and make a very high quality paper. And where you are thinking, no, I will write only by myself. No, you cannot compete by yourself with 15 people. So take this out from your mind, that how many author, who is the first author, who is the second author, who is third. No, when you're writing a paper, when you are working together, definitely some author order maintained. Like, if somebody work most of the work, definitely he'll be the first author, and the second people who work less work, he'll be second author. It's fine. Third, fourth, fifth, it's okay. Even if somebody don't contribute, he can be the author of the paper. But the same people, when write his own paper, maybe he can welcome the other people. Hey, thanks for your mentioning my name in your paper as an author. It's okay. I can review your paper. I can write it down a little bit in your paper. And for this reason, since you honor me in your paper, I'm welcoming you all to see my paper, give some comments, write it down a small part of that, and be a part of this paper. So this way, just think about that. What they're doing, when you are by yourself publishing one paper, that Irani people publishing 15 papers, and all 15 are in a very good journal, and you are publishing with very nonsense journal, just because of your ego, because of your, you don't want to see, you feel like, no, our problem is we are always competing with others. You have to remember, when you're in the academia field, never ever compete with your colleague. Never think that your friend is your competitor. Always think you are your competitor. Always think your friend is your best hand. Always think your colleague is your best hand. Try to collaborate with them. Try to work as much as possible with them. Try to share manuscript. Try to improve your, because the moment you think, oh no, I want to share with them, I don't want to tell them what I'm doing, the world, open your eyes, the world is not working that way. When you are thinking you are protecting yourself from your Bangladeshi friend, you are protecting yourself from your community. The same time, India, China, everybody is booming. Everybody, you are not even able to publish one paper, they're publishing 15 papers, just because you don't want to be collaborate. So you have to remember that your manuscript is not only your manuscript. When you are open to work with everyone, you feel like, oh, I work myself, why should I share with them? When you work yourself and open for other people's, that same guy will open for you for his manuscript. So that way, instead of just one paper, you will have like 15 papers, and you'll also have the understanding with all of them together, so you can produce more and more. So you have to keep in mind that you have to be open-minded, not a narrow-minded, that there is nothing hide and seek game. It's a very open world. Everybody and you research need to acknowledge by everybody. Anyway, so again, plan of action. What's the plan of action? So if in my next plan is like, I will today is not this is not our topic for today, but this is what we want to do. We want to know what is research, how to conduct, where to start, how to write a good research paper, how to improve the quality of the research paper, what tool and source you can use. But this is not my job to teach you how to use them. I will give you a little bit of information how to use it at minimal level so that you can work on that. But to make it more extensive and further, you have to work yourself. Okay. Now the task for you guys. If you publish any good paper in a journal already, please share with us. Thank you very much. You're more than welcome. Find the topic which match with your current research domain or future interest. This should be very specific. You are a fourth year student, you are working on a project of hand gesture recognitions. Just write it down and send it to me directly, a very small way. I'll give you a small template that how this information you will be added so that I can understand. And you will go back and forth to the slide and see which matches match with you. If this is match with you, then you'll be able, we can start working immediately. You have to remember, guys, the topic I have added, this is I mean, you know, we cannot cover all of them together. I cannot work with English literature. I cannot work with what is called I cannot work with sociology, or I can work with every field. I have my limitations. So don't get upset that if you find that, okay, the current research topic which I put there, it's not matched with your profile. And don't push yourself to, oh, okay, this is I want to do. No, don't do that. Because in team A, we will like, okay, we know something and we want to do something. But this is not the way it's, we are not want to discourage you to continue that what you're looking for and what you're currently working on. And you are more than welcome to share. Because if you remember, I mean, if you're, I think most of you get this information from the research community. So we have so many people from different domain. So what will happen, even if this research topic will not match with your profile, we will be able to set you in many other places. But specifically, since I'm presenting today's lecture, so I put exactly what I am looking for, what I am working on, and what I can help directly, where I publish. So that was the part of the thing that where I want to start as soon as possible. But any other field, bioinformatics, biochemistry, biomedical, electrical, industrial, cybersecurity, any domain which is not even related to what I have mentioned here, you can still come forward with us if you have a strong manuscript, or if you think you have the potentiality to go through this, and then we can see what we can do. Because we want to not only be productive, we also want to computationally less expensive. I mean, save our time. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any manuscript ready and want to publish high quality journal, need fund, share with us. Straight point. Communication protocol. This is very important. Should you use the subject line or not? Many of you send me the email. There is no subject line. Trust me, I receive around 130 to 140 emails. And if you, this is not the only one you people are sending me the email. I am sending email to somebody and he's giving me the email replay. I'm getting email from my professor. I'm getting email from my colleague. So when there is no subject line, it's very confusing. I'm also getting the ad email. I'm getting some spam email. So there is so many emails. When there is no subject line, it's you're putting yourself in a very dangerous position. And ultimately, it's not getting you in a position that I can look into it. And since I am, that's one of the reason I select everyone and I try to reach everyone so that you can understand. But why it is important? To me, it doesn't matter because I'm not giving you any fund. I'm not working for you. But when in the future, if you don't use the subject line and you're sending an email to a professor, it shows you that you are not ready. You have to understand there is no free lunch in this world. There is no sympathy for you. Nobody is going to give you anything. You have to earn it. So just remember that, sir, please, I want to do that. I beg you utmost, please, please, please. There is nothing please in the USA. There is nothing please in the USA, in Canada. Everybody is selfish. They want your work. They want you. So your small change, your small attitude make you more smart. So this is something, don't forget the subject line. When you write down an email in the subject line, I'll show you later, but I'm talking it today, that in the subject line is clearly mentioned that whatever you want, like regarding research proposal or research opportunity, whatever, use the subject line. This is something you should not use. Dear sir, dear madam, please don't characterize. You know, we live in a society where you only stay Bengali people, but United States is a place, or Canada or the Europe or USA or the America is the place with diversity and inclusions. So like in our country, we still see gay people in a very different way, but in USA you cannot even it's very offensive to make a fun of a gay people or a lesbian people. They have their own designation. It's called LGBT. So they respect everyone's opinion. So when you put sir and madam, it means like you're actually characterizing them in a gender. So it's actually getting biased with your diversity and inclusion problems. You're asking, oh, okay, why does it matter? Not everybody in academia is same. Like today, I'm giving the presentation with wearing a normal t-shirt, but you will see somebody who has a small haircut, who has a suited booted. What does that mean? That means there will be a very, very different people, and you have to be in a position that nobody get offensive, nobody get offended. So you will use a very standard protocol that can satisfy every criteria, from your email to SOP, from your email to CB, everywhere. So never use dear sir, madam. What you can use, just take 10 to 15 seconds time. Dear Dr. X or dear Professor X, use the word dear, and then dear, even you put the name, dear Manzurul. That's it. You don't even need to mention the professor or something, or doctor. If you are not sure that if he's a doctor, if you're not sure if he's a professor, mostly you will email the professor. So you can use dear Professor X or dear, and in USA, not a single professor is get his job without doctoral degree. So it's very safe to use any of them. So use their name, but before that, put your dear word so that it shows that you're kind, you're neutral. That's fine. And you don't need to be hip hop. Hey, Dr. X, why? Because you're not in this place anymore. You are someone who need to be there. Once you become a colleague, or you are some a fraternity of USA, then you can say, hey, Dr. Zahid, what's going on? This is something different, but not you are in this position anymore. So use the safest position. Third point, when you are writing the email, use this definitely, sincerely or regards, and then you name. Why it is important? Look, don't you feel so stupid that you are sending an email to a professor, hey, Professor X, this is something going on, blah, 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 and then you get the reply and see that you are not using this kind of term, but the professor who is sending you the email, he's after end of the email, he's writing, sincerely, Pedro, sincerely, Zahid. So you have to understand that he's using this protocol, but you're not using this one. So be safe. So use this kind of protocol for you good, and it will make you email put you much standard. So that is not giving you a guarantee that you will get the reply from the professor, but this only fulfill that, okay, you are one of the standard people who know how to write an email. This is something you remember next time when you send the email to anyone. Second and third most thing, many of you send me the email, can you please at least read my email? Can you please send, give me the one, can I receive at least one replay? Look, never ever beg anyone for anything. And it looks very bad. When I send the email that this is something going on, definitely I have something in my mind, right? So be patient. You cannot do your research without your patience. You have to be patient. Your impatience or your shooting in different direction will not put you in a position as a potential candidate. So you have to be patient. If you don't hear back from any professor or anyone from a couple of days, 4 or 5 days, or even a week, then just send a small reminder if this is important, like you're looking for a position and what's the update. But if you are not getting back from that particular response, then you have to understand that, okay, either he's not interested or maybe he has something on his mind. Because if someone really need you, he will find you. Even if you're not in the Facebook, even if you're not in the Instagram, even if you're not in the email, he will find you. I remember when I completed my master's, I was working for a company and I got a email from Mississippi State University. What happened? One Chinese professor sent me an email. Hey, Manzurul, I find your CV from the ISC, Industrial System Engineering Directory of Mississippi State University. I have an open positions. Are you interested to working with me? Please let us know so that we can set up a Zoom meeting and we have some conversation. So how he reached out to me? What happened? I sent email to other professor, and on that time he didn't responded me. I sent him another email after a week. He didn't responded me. I just leave it and I just move on, because there is so many universities, Louisiana State, Florida State, so many universities. I try many other places. This is my choice, and this is his choice whether he's going to reply or not. Then what happened? Out of a sudden, maybe the professor, maybe that lady was looking for a student who has the same research background like me, and maybe she was talking with his colleague that, hey, I was looking somebody, do you know someone? Maybe he referred, okay, I this guy reached out to me, but since I don't have any funding, um, uh, remember one thing, most often time you feel like, oh, I don't get the response from the professor. You have to remember that the professor only responds when he needs the students and when he has the funding. Because in the USA, if the professor don't have the funding, he cannot bring you and he cannot pay you for a month of 3, 4, 5 years. So he will only reach out to you when he has the open positions or when it is not fulfilled. So be remember on that particular point also. So those are the stuff you already have, like my email address, my Gmail address. This is not important. This is, I just put that, okay, in the future, if I create a very small group that which I'll work directly and which I have the direct research relation with my PhD work, in my master's work, then maybe I'll try to add them on that particular group. And this is something, okay, I'm talking about upcoming conference, like why I'm talking about upcoming conference, because this is, if I, this is the conference, if somebody have anything, we can submit there. And in that particular period, if you, this is very fast, like even within 10 days, we can submit there. If you have some things, we can look into that and see if you can publish here. And something, we'll go this link later, but now I want to talk something else. As in, you want to be in academia, but you have to remember something. You need 3 accounts if you don't have right now. One is Google Scholar, one is ResearchGate, and another is LinkedIn. Because in USA now, LinkedIn is very popular and ResearchGate is also popular. That way you will be able to connect with more people, and you'll be able to communicate with them. And when you apply for any position, professor will look over to your LinkedIn profile and see that how it evolved. So if you already don't open your account, then please start to look over and make it yourself. I'm not going to teach you how to open this account, because if you are already know how to open your Facebook account, then definitely you can open this kind of account as well. And as I mentioned earlier, please send us if you have something to publish or want to publish. And this is something you already know, that the Facebook group, you're already part of that. So before I go into the, let's see, okay, let's go there first. I want to see, so this, if I can see, let's see. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay. So I was talking about Google Scholar in the, can you see that Google Scholar, the page?
No, sir, we can't.
You can see any, okay, okay.
Slide.
Can you see now?
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
can.
Yes.
So basically, see, this is my, like when you try to open with the Gmail account, you can, if you just write it down, what is Google Scholar in Google Scholar, search in Google, what is Google Scholar, there you can create your profile. So I want to show you how it looks like. So this is my profile. Okay. So when you have the Google Scholar profile, so once you publish your paper, this will be look like Google will automatically add all of your paper here. Okay. And how much impactful you are, it will be shown by H index, I index, those are stuff. Now, why the open access, why it is important? Look, those are the stuff like 48, 34, this is called citation. That means 48 paper has been mentioned, this paper. So that means that this is one of the paper which is the 48 researcher believe that this is a good paper, or it could be, it was useful for them. That's why they mentioned that paper. So this is also important. So you just publish a paper and it's not getting cited, that will not much meaningful. So citation is very important. So I was talking about open access. I'll show you something. This is the paper. Can you see this paper? Can you
Yes,
see
sir.
a paper here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So see, this paper, I can go only until abstract, and after that there is nothing, because this is not open access. So what happened that because I didn't pay for this one. So the other day, one person sent me an email. He's telling me that he is interested about this paper, and can I send him the full paper? So that's what happened. But this will not be for everyone, right? Somebody will go there and say, oh, this paper is not open access, so I'm not going to search for that, or I'm not going to sign up to read this one, because there is 1,000 of paper. Why should I take much time to get this one, unless this is very extraordinary paper, right? And how about open access paper? See, this is the paper. When I go there, I have the full text. This is the paid one, but I have my full text. So how it helps? So when somebody said, okay, I want to read the full paper, then he has the opportunity to go through the whole paper. So ultimately, it will create the more, it will give the more chance for the other people that, okay, I can work on, more cited, because the more open access paper is more cited. Also, it will also increase your citation and your profile credentiality all over. So open access is everybody wanted. So but open access need money to pay. So this is one thing we're looking for. Now in the presentation, I was talking about how to find a good journal. So I told you that you have to find yourself, and at some point I'll show you. I just want to give you a very small demo. Like suppose I was talking about a lot of the time about Elsevier journal. You see, this is very simple, Elsevier journal finder. If you just search it that way, if you just click it here, you will get like this, Elsevier journal finder. So okay, I just put something, maybe my paper is machine learning. Okay, just put for our demo, let's suppose you write a manuscript. Now you have a title, you just put the title, your paper title, and maybe let's take this one just for the sample example. Take this and this is called abstract. So here you put the abstract, and then you put here find the journal. Then you will get, see, I got artificial intelligence in medicine. This is my best match and exactly where actually I published, right? So you don't have to bang your head to find the best journal. So it will give you, but see the acceptance rate, only 8%, but still this is my best chance. So I published here. This is one of the very good journal. So, but there is so many requirement what you're looking for. Time to decision, time to publications. So suppose you say, no, I want to publish a journal where its accepted rate is very high, then you can search that way. See, this journal has acceptance rate is 100%, but very low impact factor. Some of them 68%, but this is not match with my documents, so they'll reject it me. This has 64%, 53%. So those are like, if you submit 100 paper, they will accept 50 papers. So if you're looking for, no, my profile, my manuscript are not so strong, I just want some accepted, just want to publish paper with some okay journal. If you say, no, I want to publish in a very fast journal, then look for time to publish. See, they publish in 2 weeks, they give the decision in 1 week. Computers in biology and medicine. Okay, go for it. But you have to remember the acceptance rate is only 15%. Maybe your target is, no, I want to publish a very high quality journal. Then this is called impact factor. You have to look over the impact factor. See, this is a very high impact factor in fusion 12.95. Acceptance rate is not bad, 15%. You can look over. So based on your paper quality, based on your like, I want to publish in 2-3 months and I have very good papers and I want to publish in very high quality journal, then you can search through it that. But if you work with us, then you don't have to go through this. But this is, I'm just showing you that how to search a good journal. I mean, how to find a good journal that I mentioned earlier. So this is just a simple example from the Elsevier. If you just, as I mentioned earlier, and since the video is recorded, so you can check over and you can play by yourself, and you can look into that. So okay, this is one part I am talking, and now I'm going to show you what is good paper looks like. Even though this is not our topic today, but I just want to give the hint so that if somebody have already the manuscript, and if somebody in writing manuscript, or somebody started to planning for that, then this is something you should started to keep in mind when you start writing a manuscript or journal paper. This is one of the very good journal paper, and see how those things work. So if I go through in a good paper, I mean, you should always have some abstract. It's very common, introduction, then the previous work, which you call the literature review, and then the methodology part, that which you work, how you are actually working on that. And then you need some justification that how you conducted the research, and then finally you present your result part, and at the end of the day you put some conclusion that, okay, this is what has been done. So why this is paper is one of the best paper, and how it becomes one of the good paper. A good paper contains some very key components. When you're writing, you should always keep in mind, in abstract, see, the paper contains 3 main contributions. You don't have to write exactly that way, but you have to you have to clearly mention about your contribution in your abstract part. So then you see he's explaining his contribution, because why I should accept your paper. So when you're writing your abstract, you should remember you have to give some contribution. Okay, this is my contribution, and this is something I'm actually doing it. And then you need that, okay, how you validate your contribution. Like, see, he said that he evaluated it in a database experiment, and how he did the experiment, and finally how it is our approach outperformed the state of the several metrics. He just mentioned that, okay, he's mentioning that, the author mentioned that this worked fine. And what it can do, it can do this. They also show that the proposed dynamic robust loss lead to more flexible and accurate estimator. So this is his contribution. So this contribution was so like 3-part. I'll show in later, but this is just a demo that you definitely mention your contribution in this paper. And then when you're writing your introduction, you will give a story at the beginning, some story. Suppose if you are talking about the cancer disease, then give the story. Cancer is a disease for decades. Among 50,000 people die every year. Among them, liver disease, liver cancer is the most one. Stomach cancer was the most one. Blah blah blah. Right? Then you have to go through that. Okay, everything was the introduction. What's the problem? The problem started from here. Despite the considerable progress in estimating and predicting the beauty of the faces, or despite the considerable progress in estimating and predicting the cancer disease, more level cancer image is needed for training deep CNN to deal with the cancer limited data. Then you started talking, okay, some work has been done. And finally, in the introduction, you're saying that, okay, in summary, the main contribution of this paper is like that. Okay, you are just, okay, I did this in details. I did this in details. I did this in details. And then just some part, the rest of the paper organized in this flow. This doesn't matter. Now the related work, this is very important. Here you will mention, okay, how we can explain that some related work. You'll say, okay, author X did some work in cancer and he used Y method. Author Z did some work in cancer cell detection and he used P method. However, in P has some limitation, in Y has some limitation, and that what you want to complete in your research. So this is what we call the identify the object of your, the research gap. This will be also, I'll talk in future, but for the sake, and then the methodology part, here you will explain clearly what you have done and what's the process you have doing. And then you have to, and also just remember when you're writing a manuscript, remember the figure should be a little bit descriptive, not too much like that, but like, that a figure description can, like, if I don't want to read all this thing, I want to read only this part, and so that I can understand what's going on here. So try to write down a little bit longer description for a figure description. Not like this figure 4 here. Figure 4 shows some of the picture, done. This is not the good journal. Okay, so you don't have to write down this way, but you can little bit error, like figure 4 describe 4 of the different images in figure, where figure 1 is the original image, figure 2 detecting face landmark, figure 3 with the pixel value, and figure 4 the region of interest, like this kind of a description. So that, and also when you're preparing the manuscript, make sure you use very high quality images, and also use like it looks like more clear. Many of the paper will get rejected because the figure is blurred, the text is not good. So how I'm going to do that? If I how are you going to do that? Just remember, it will be also be noted and I will give the idea. So when you use the PowerPoint and when you create any labeling, make sure that the font is 16 to 18 and try to use Times New Roman most of the time, so that way this labeling, it will be more clear. And you can use even bold font, so that when you put this figure in a manuscript, it looks good. And also use the good image, and always save the PowerPoint for your further use, so that you can use it again and again and again. Anyway, so this is something I was trying to mention. Can you guys see my PowerPoint or no?
Not now.
Not now. Okay. New share. Okay, can you see right now?
Oh, yeah, it's clear now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. Okay. Okay, so the fun part is I can't even see what is my PowerPoint. Okay, just give me a second. So basically, what is the PowerPoint? Okay, so the thing is, now I want to talk about a little bit about the organization we have. This is actually not, I can't say this is this is actually solely created by the person. He is actually present here, Muhammad Ramizuddin. He took the initiative, and he is a very hardworking person, and he is a president of Bangladesh Student Association of University of Oklahoma. And the community you are actually the part of the member, there is like maybe 11 to 14,000 people, and this whole group was created by itself by Romis. And you have no idea how much hard work he is doing. He's making the stuff, collecting the information, and he's not getting a single money for that. So what you guys can do is in a moment right now, in that group, try to invite as much as friend you're possible, and it will be fine. You can do it right now, so that people can get more information. And today was actually the introductory part, that actually what we want to do and how we want to proceed. So I can assure you, even if you can't be a part of in our research group, but throughout this process, you'll understand how to write a paper, how to publish a paper, where to submit a papers. So that's the thing I want everyone should take it, so that he or she can work himself or herself. So don't worry about that part. So that why every week, maybe for 2 months, or maybe I'm not sure, it depends how those things will work, but around this time, this will be the time. So what things will be covered, I already mentioned that. I will show you some of the tools and some of the stuff and limited resource of the Excel which you can use for your research, or how you can fix your writing stuff, or those are the stuff. Slowly I'll try to expose, but remember that you will be on very few people will be welcome to work with us directly, because initially our goal was to create, and still it's our goal to create a research collaboration team. So primary purpose is create a research collaboration team which can work with us and publish papers and get benefited, will be benefit from both sides. And secondary purpose is everybody will learn something throughout this community. So please go ahead and invite as much as your friend. And many of you ask me how you will get this video. This video will be shared in the YouTube, so that anybody can look into that. And we have a much more bigger plan. And I would like to say something to Romij, so that he can give his he can talk more about his research group and community. Please, Romij, go ahead.
Okay, নিজেকে প্রথমে unmute করে নিলাম. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining with us. So my goal initially was to create a higher study page, so where people can pursue their higher study. Okay, so before even telling, I'm giving you my my kind of like what I am. So I am Muhammad Ramizuddin. I'm a PhD candidate, third year PhD candidate of chemistry and biochemistry department at University of Oklahoma. So I am doing research in biomedical related field, and I'm also collaborating with many other fields as well, with closely related subjects and measures. And I am the founder of Community of Research and Higher Study. As I told you earlier, my initial purpose was to motivate students to the higher study, because after I came here, I was in a community where most of the people are from India and China, and there were there was no, there was no people even in some field from Bangladesh. So I was kind of thinking that time, okay, how I can motivate more people to come here so that we can make a larger community. So for these reasons, I initially founded this community of research and higher study. And after a few years, I found that after waiving the GRE, most probably in many different fields. So now US professor selector, they are mainly focusing on research experience, because research experience is not only important for your for your admission, but also it's important for your permanent residency in the US, as Monjur Bhai already have told you. So now the main goal of community of research and higher study is, from the beginning to last, is just to develop a good profile. And to develop a good profile for higher study also means that you need to have a good research experience as well. So for these reasons, I moved forward and contacted so many collaborators, especially they are doing research in many different fields in the US, and finally trying to build up some research group where students from Bangladesh basically can build a good profile, a competitive profile for their higher study purposes. So that was basically my goal. My goal is to reach this helps to everybody. So I am not getting paid or anything, as Monjur Bhai already have told you, but only one small thing I want from you is to go to our page and share our page as much as you can, so that I can kind of spread this helps to everybody. And I'm making sure that I have contacted so many instructors and so many other researchers, that even though you are not being selected for a particular team, I'll make sure your team in some others research group, your position in some other research group as well. So just be patient and stay with our group and help us as much as you can, and definitely your help will be confirmed. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate the way you are listening all the presentation, and this means is the first step you have already taken toward the research, and I wish your best success in this arena. Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, so before I end of the conversation or everything, so I just want to show you guys something. Is it what it is? A little bit something. Okay. Can you see a LinkedIn profile page?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I already mentioned that open this one because LinkedIn is very important in USA. You can see that all of things are like, see, this was my professor. So what he's doing, or what's how is going, or there is a job, what jobs actually looking for, what job you're looking for, machine learning researcher, research developer. So what's in the USA, and also see the notification. You'll get the notification. See, 2 people viewed your profile, or suppose you'll get the information like when your application was viewed for assistant professor and program chair for blah blah blah. So, and your profile will be look like this. So what does it mean? That means that everything is getting digitalized. So everybody who don't have this, try to open the LinkedIn profile. In the slide, the LinkedIn link will be there. So open LinkedIn profile, then try to make your profile as much as information, like same the CV you fill up, you just put the information. Okay, this is what you did, your education, and then what skill you are preferred. And they have some, take the quiz. You have some way, like suppose you are a good in Python or MATLAB, you can take the quiz. I put here Python, so they're telling me take the quiz. So if you get a good score, then it will be here. So when the recruiter will look over, or when your profile will be viewed by somebody, he will know, okay, this guy has some validation. And then you can add your publication as well, so that you the professor can why I'm telling you this one, just showing you something. See, this is the some email. uh, See, I just sent him the CV. He say, hey Hassan, I apologize for the delay in my response. If you're still interested in the position, we would like to set up a time for an introductory meeting to talk about interest and project that we have available. Let me know. I'll set up a Zoom meeting. So I didn't even send the email. It was through the LinkedIn. So it will be like, you have to be more dynamic. You have to be more smart to move this, in this world, to, present yourself in a more better way. And uh, finally, let's uh, go through our slide again. So the slide will be shared, and if you have any question about all of these things, you can send me directly the email that, hey, this is something I have a doubt. So why I'm telling you this one, because I will create all the question, and then I will put the information in a way, and I'll give you the PDF. So as a way, then it will not only, it will be a reference for all of you guys, that what kind of question could be rise from these situations. Maybe in the future, when I will show you something different, then you will have a lot of questions. Then you can send it to me, that question, then I can all comment together, and then it will be used as for reference, and also it will help you to learn something more specifically. So that's from my side, and I don't want to hold you guys anymore, because it was longer than I expected. But today my goal was to give you the total understanding, and I hope that you guys understand that how this process will be work. And I welcome everyone who are very passionate and who want to collaborate with us. And as I mentioned earlier, uh, when I'll send you the my share the PowerPoint, go through with this PowerPoint and see which research area match with you. And also, if you have any manuscript or something you want to publish, then just let me know. And in the meantime, I will also look back to the resume and the other stuff, and I will try to figure out by myself that which will be the more appropriate people for my research group. But also, in the meantime, based on the topic I've given, people are welcome to look back, and they can, communicate through. Why I'm telling this, instead of just sending, I'm interested, it's need to be more clear. And it's will be more benefited for you guys that way, because like the university I mentioned earlier, and also some other university, like there will be 12 to 15 position, then we can easily fill up with just recommendation. So it's even totally depends on actually how much potential strength we can gain from this collaboration. And it depends how much potential individual have. So that's all, guys. Thanks for joining with me. And if whether you will attend or not, my plan will be still the resume, because as I mentioned earlier, that I will show you how some tips and technique and how to write the stuff, some of the stuff. So probably the same time the next week there will be another session, but that will be, I think, much shorter as expected, as it happened today. It not happen like that way. So thank you guys to join with me. And if you have any question, as I mentioned earlier, just direct send me the email. And one more thing, don't send email to everyone, because when you select all and send everybody, then it get confused for everyone, and it get confused for me as well, that who is talking to me. But when you're sending to MD Manjula Hassan, then it makes much more clear that, okay, this is something I need to address. And again, thank you, and that's all. So you guys can just check the, you can leave it now because it's end now. So somehow my display got messed up. Okay.